Some people make us laugh, some make us dream, but a rare few make us feel like home, and Penny Marshall was one of them. Penny Marshall didn't just appear on our screens, she settled into our lives with warmth, humor, and an unmistakable humanity that felt personal. From the first time audiences heard her Brooklyn-accented voice or saw her expressive smile, there was an instant sense of recognition, as if she were someone we already knew. Penny represented the joy of imperfection, the beauty of authenticity, and the quiet power of kindness wrapped in comedy. She made us laugh not by trying to be larger than life, but by being unapologetically herself. In an industry often obsessed with glamour and illusion, Penny stood out because she felt real. She carried a generosity of spirit that translated effortlessly from television to film, and later behind the camera, where she reshaped Hollywood history. Her work reflected empathy, resilience, and a deep understanding of ordinary people chasing extraordinary dreams. When Penny Marshall passed away, it felt less like losing a celebrity and more like saying goodbye to a lifelong friend, one who had been there through reruns, movie nights, and moments when laughter mattered most. Her life was a testament to the idea that heart matters more than perfection, and that stories told with sincerity can last forever. Carol Penny Marshall was born on October 15, 1943, in New York City, into a family where creativity was not encouraged, it was expected. Her father, Anthony Marshall, was a film director and producer, and her mother, Marjorie, was a dance teacher whose passion for performance shaped the household. Growing up alongside her brother, Gary Marshall, Penny was immersed in storytelling, humor, and the rhythms of show business from an early age. Yet her childhood was not about privilege or polish, it was about learning to observe people, absorb their quirks, and understand their emotions. Penny often described herself as awkward, unsure, and far from the traditional image of a star, but those very qualities became her greatest strengths. She learned early how laughter could disarm pain and how honesty could build connection. New York City gave her grit, resilience, and an unfiltered voice that would later define her screen persona. Long before fame found her, Penny Marshall was quietly becoming a storyteller shaped by family, struggle, and an unshakable belief that being yourself was more than enough. Penny Marshall's journey into entertainment was anything but effortless or glamorous. She didn't arrive with instant stardom or industry hype. She arrived with persistence, humility, and a willingness to start wherever the door was open. In the early years, Penny worked behind the scenes, taking small jobs that kept her close to the world she loved. She answered phones, ran errands, and absorbed everything she could about how television and film were made. These formative experiences grounded her, teaching her respect for every role on a set, knowledge that would later shape her as a director beloved by cast and crew alike. Penny also pursued acting, though she never fit Hollywood's narrow definition of a leading lady. Instead of seeing that as a limitation, she leaned into it. Her comedic instincts, natural timing, and emotional honesty began to shine in small television appearances and commercials. Each role, no matter how minor, became practice, an opportunity to refine her voice. Penny wasn't chasing fame, she was learning her craft, building confidence one imperfect step at a time, and slowly discovering that her uniqueness was not an obstacle, but her greatest asset. Penny Marshall's breakthrough came when she stepped into the role that would make her a household name, Laverne DeFazio on Laverne Shirley. With her signature laugh, expressive face, and unmistakable charm, Penny brought Laverne to life in a way that felt immediate and deeply human. The show became a cultural phenomenon, capturing the spirit of friendship, ambition, and working-class dreams. Audiences didn't just watch Laverne, they rooted for her. Penny's performance resonated because it was grounded in truth. She portrayed vulnerability and strength without pretense. As the series soared to the top of the ratings, Penny found herself at the center of one of television's most beloved sitcoms. Yet fame never changed her essence. Even at the height of popularity, she remained approachable, self-deprecating, and deeply connected to the people who loved her work. This era cemented her place in entertainment history, but more importantly, it proved that audiences were ready for women who felt real. Penny Marshall didn't just rise to fame, she reshaped what fame could look like. Penny Marshall's personal life was deeply intertwined with her work. yet she guarded it with a sense of humility and honesty. She married actor Rob Reiner in 1971, and together they welcomed a daughter, Tracy Reiner, who became the center of Penny's world. Motherhood changed her in profound ways, grounding her even as her career soared. Though Penny and Rob eventually divorced, they remained connected through mutual respect and shared devotion to their child. Penny was never one to present life as perfect. She spoke openly about relationships, mistakes, and the complicated balance between family and ambition. Friends often described her as loyal, warm, and deeply compassionate, someone who showed up when it mattered most. She surrounded herself with people who made her laugh, valuing authenticity over status. Penny's home life reflected the same qualities audiences loved on screen: openness, humor, and emotional honesty. She lived without pretense, embracing both joy and heartbreak as essential parts of the human experience, and those lived truths quietly informed the stories she would later tell as a filmmaker. As strong and spirited as Penny Marshall appeared, her life was marked by significant health challenges that tested her resilience. Over the years, she faced diabetes, heart issues, and complications that increasingly affected her energy and mobility. Later in life, a stroke and subsequent health struggles forced her to slow down, something that was never easy for a woman driven by creativity and curiosity. Yet Penny met these challenges with remarkable grace. She spoke candidly about her health, never seeking sympathy, only understanding. Rather than retreat from life, she adapted, finding joy in friendships, baseball games, and storytelling, even when her body demanded rest. These struggles deepened her empathy and reinforced her appreciation for the fleeting nature of time. Penny's strength was not defined by denial of hardship, but by her willingness to face it honestly. Even in moments of vulnerability, she retained her humor and warmth, reminding those around her that resilience isn't about never falling, it's about continuing to live fully, even when the path becomes harder to walk. On December 17, 2018, Penny Marshall passed away at the age of 75 due to complications from diabetes. The news sent a wave of grief across generations, touching those who had grown up watching her on television, those inspired by her groundbreaking work as a director, and those who simply admired her spirit. Her passing felt sudden, even though her health struggles were known, because Penny had always seemed timeless, as if laughter itself had protected her. Tributes poured in from actors, directors, and fans who spoke not only of her achievements, but of her kindness, humility, and generosity. There was a shared sense of loss, not just for what she had done, but for who she was. Penny Marshall left this world quietly, without spectacle, much like she lived, honestly and without pretension. Yet the silence she left behind was profound. Her death marked the end of a remarkable life, but it also reaffirmed a powerful truth, that lives filled with sincerity, courage, and love never truly end. They echo gently and endlessly through the stories they leave behind. Some legacies are written in awards and headlines, but Penny Marshall's legacy lives in laughter, courage, and the doors she opened for others. Penny Marshall changed Hollywood not by demanding space, but by earning it, one heartfelt story at a time. As a director, she broke barriers in an industry that rarely trusted women with big dreams or big budgets. Films like Big, Awakenings, and A League of Their Own were not just commercial successes, they were deeply human stories that celebrated vulnerability, friendship, and quiet strength. Penny had an extraordinary ability to see people clearly and portray them with compassion. She created worlds where emotions mattered, where humor and heartbreak could exist side by side. Her legacy is also found in the countless women she inspired, women who saw in Penny proof that leadership didn't have to look loud or aggressive to be powerful. She led with empathy, trust, and collaboration. Today, her influence can be felt every time a woman steps behind the camera with confidence, every time a story centered on humanity is given room to breathe. Penny Marshall didn't just make films, she made space. For voices, for honesty, for dreams once considered impossible. Penny Marshall's life reminds us that greatness doesn't always arrive polished or perfect. Sometimes it arrives with a laugh that feels familiar, a voice that sounds like home, and a heart brave enough to tell the truth. She gave us characters we loved, stories we returned to, and moments that still comfort us years later. More than anything, she gave us permission to be ourselves, to embrace flaws, to laugh loudly, and to believe that sincerity has a place in the world. Though she is no longer here, Penny Marshall remains woven into our cultural memory, playing softly in reruns, movie scenes, and the echoes of laughter she inspired. Her story doesn't end with her passing. It continues every time someone finds comfort in her work, courage in her journey, or joy in remembering her smile. Penny Marshall may have left the stage, but her spirit endures, gentle, resilient, and forever familiar. And in that way, she never truly said goodbye.